What is going on, everyone? Welcome back. So look, Rogue Company is an ever-evolving game. With each and every major update, we're getting new rogues with new weapons, new abilities, and new maps that can seriously change how Rogue Company is played. However, this is not necessarily a bad thing at all. Rogue Company will go through some major changes, but I think we're headed in the right direction. Now, we all know the new Rogue Seeker and the new map, the Hollows, was recently released in the PTS for all of us to play last weekend. However, the integration of Seeker and this new map tells us that Rogue Company is not slowing down on adding more innovative and creative ways to improve their game moving forward, adding things like a bow and arrow and a very unique map that makes for some very intense gameplay. Now, all of this can lead us to some information pointing to what kind of content we're going to be seeing next and how Rogue Company will be played in the future. Now, like I always say, the Rogue Company community, people like me and you, have a strong influence on what's actually put into the game. So with all of that in mind, I've done some research looking all over the internet, going on Reddit, Discord, Twitter, and the YouTube comments to find out what new content and gameplay mechanics are coming up next for Rogue Company, and trying to get a better understanding of how different gameplay will actually be in the future. Now, I'm talking about mechanics like being able to upgrade your rogue's abilities the same way you would upgrade weapons and equipment. I'm talking about gameplay changes like adding a slide or dash for more movement, and even adding destructible environments to maps going forward. So yeah, we have a lot to talk about today. So sit back, grab your favorite goddamn snack, and relax. Yeah, like that. That was kind of like my new little intro. I'll shut up. I'll shut up. Y'all let me know in the comments. Now, hold on. Before we get into all of that, let's talk about the giveaway in my last video. So, the winners have already been selected. However, as long as Rogue Company keeps sending me skins, I'll keep giving them away. So stay tuned for another giveaway in the future. Now, let's get into the video. Alright, so let's start this off with a mechanic that so many Rogue Company fans have been asking for, and that can very well end up being added to Rogue Company in a future update, which is giving the players the option to upgrade each rogue's abilities. Now, you have to admit, this idea is pretty damn interesting, but the question is, how exactly would this even work? Well, if you were to upgrade your rogue's abilities, it would be no different to how you would upgrade, say, your guns or equipment. Now, each and every ability will have 3 tiers to upgrade, ranging from a faster cooldown time to more personalized upgrades to benefit that specific rogue's ability. Now, for an example, let's say a tier 3 upgrade would be something along the lines of Dima's grenade launcher, doing more damage or possibly having a larger exploding radius for each grenade. Now, that was just an example. Of course, balancing would have to be a priority here. However, if something like this were to be added, I have confidence in the Rogue Company team that they could make this work. Now, aside from just buffing already existing abilities, these upgrades can also be used as a creative way to change how some rogues' abilities work if a player decided to do so. But what do I mean when I say that? Well, for an example, if you were to upgrade, let's say, Ronin's ballistic knife, instead of her knife being an explosive weapon, if a player wanted to, they can upgrade her ability and turn it into a ballistic knife that explodes like a flashbang instead of a lethal explosion, if that suits that player's playstyle a bit better. Now, of course, there are so many possibilities, but 100% balancing needs to be for sure kept in mind when doing this. But I do think there is some serious potential here. But let me know down in the comments what you think about all of this and what ideas you have. Let's have a real conversation. Now up next, let's talk about destructible environments. How would it work and what kind of destruction are we talking about? So look, no, I'm not talking about destruction like we've seen in the Battlefield franchise. Although, if Rogue Company had larger maps like in Battlefield, it could work. But that's not the case here now, is it? Now we have seen destructible environments in Rogue Company. Well, actually, there's only a couple of wooden planks on a window that you can destroy on the map Favelas, but it is a start. So, what I mean by destructible environments falls more closely related to destruction and also interactive destruction. Let me explain. Now, the kind of destruction that I'm talking about is being able to significantly damage some cover elements, some small structures that fill up the map, being able to blow up cars, etc. Now, destruction can affect gameplay if you play it out very smart, like minimalizing cover elements that you know the enemy team will take advantage of. But more so, adding destruction elements and physics is more about immersing the player into the action and chaos that they are causing and also that's happening all around them. Now, in terms of interactive destruction, this is where things get interesting. So, interactive destruction is like tipping over dominoes. You trigger one event and another follows, and so on and so forth. So for an example, you'll be able to destroy things like bridges, barrels being held from a ceiling that can be shot down, causing a fire or an explosion. I mean, the possibilities are endless with a little bit of creativity. I mean, come on, you gotta admit that this kind of interactive destruction can lead for some very interesting ways to strategically kill your enemies, spicing up gameplay a little bit. Now let me know down in the comments what you think about destructible environments and what creative ideas you have that can make this all work in Rogue Company. Let's have a real conversation. Now, last but certainly not least, what if Rogue Company added another evasive movement mechanic like sliding or dashing in addition to the current tactical role? So like I've said, we already have the tactical role, which makes players feel quick and nimble on their feet. So do we really need another evasive movement mechanic that applies to every playable character? Now look, I am all for more movement. I love fast-paced gameplay. However, if Rogue Company were to add more movement mechanics, it should be done through parkour and map design, not through a sliding mechanic. However, I would love to see a rogue that has an ability that specializes in evasive movements, whether that's through a slide, dashing, or even teleporting. I think that would be very fun and could potentially work. Now let me know down in the comments of more movement ideas that you think could be done well in Rogue Company. I know you guys have some good ass ideas, so let's have a real conversation. Now that is it for today's video. I really do hope you enjoyed. Now don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell because I'm your #1 channel for all high quality Rogue Company content. Peace.